That's a tidbit for us, PCQI. So we got 15 days that we're going to prepare an answer and milestone. Obviously, this has multiple parts. We're going to cover it on the lesson learned on this one towards the end of the video. Here we go again. Hello again, PCQI, and thank you for joining us in this segment of our warning letter review concerning FSVP, Foreign Supplier Verification Program. And this particular product affected our nutmeg, Moong Dal, and mustard seeds. Now, when I do these warning letter review, I do not post the company's information or the person or owner that are in charge. If you need more information on this particular warning letter, please visit fda.gov and just search for warning letter. And I highly recommend you subscribing to their notices with USDA as well as FDA, so you can get notified of these alerts or notification. Now, as a PCQI, I take a look at these regularly so I can learn from them. And at the end of this, basically a quick summary of this FSVP warning letter. There's going to be some lesson learned that I cover, not only for myself to learn, and also for my fellow PCQI that we work with out on the field and in our in-house team. So let's begin, okay? So, dear owner, on November 30th to December 13th, 2022, the FDA conducted a Foreign Supplier Verification Program inspection of your firm. We also conducted inspection on July 28th, 2022 and May 4th to 14th of 2021. These inspections were conducted to determine compliance with the requirements of Section 805 of the FD&C Act, along with 21 USC Code 384A and the implementing FSVP regulation in 21 CFR Part 1, Subpart L. All right. The FSVP regulation requires that importers perform certain risk-based activities to verify that human and/or animal food they import into the United States have been produced in a manner that meets applicable U.S. food safety standards. You may find information relating to the FSVP regulation and your responsibility to comply with the regulation through the links in FDA FSVP webpage. During the most recent inspection, we found that you are not in compliance with the requirement of 21 CFR Part 1 Subpart L for the following foods you import, which is then he meant, they put on the nutmeg, Moong Dal, and mustard seed information. Imported from X countries, we removed that. It's actually been removed by FDA, so we are following suit. Because of this significant violation, you are not in compliance with Section 805 of the FD&C Act. At the conclusion of the inspection, our investigator provided you with a Form FDA 483A FSVP observation. We have not received your response to the Form FDA 483A issued on December 13, 2022. Your significant violation of the FSVP regulation are as follows. You must conduct a hazard analysis for each type of food you import to determine whether there are any hazard requiring a control as required by 21 CFR 1.504 subsection A. Although you may meet this requirement by reviewing and assessing the hazard analysis conducted by any other entity using a qualified individual, you must document your review and assessment of that hazard analysis, including documenting that the hazard analysis was conducted by a qualified individual. During the inspection, you provided copies of your foreign supplier hazard analysis for the named product imported from that country. Although you stated in an email dated December 8th that you reviewed and evaluated all hazard analysis or sooner as needed, you did not provide documentation that you have reviewed and assessed your foreign supplier's hazard analysis as required. You did not meet the requirement to evaluate your foreign supplier's performance and the risk posed by the food and to approve your foreign supplier on the basis of this evaluation in accordance with 21 CFR 1.505. Specifically, during the inspection, you stated in an email dated December 8th that you chose name foreign suppliers based on their market reputation and demand of their products by consumers. You further stated that your foreign suppliers are FDA registered and hold various certificates, which makes them trustworthy. They are also focused highly on quality of products and take all feedback very seriously. However, for your foreign supplier name located in that country, right, you did not document your evaluation of the foreign supplier's performance and the risk posed by the food in accordance with 21 CFR 1.505, or document your approval of the foreign supplier as required by 21 CFR 1.505b. You did not meet the requirement to conduct and document or obtain documentation of one or more of your supplier's verification activity listed in 21 CFR 1.506 for each foreign supplier before importing food and periodically thereafter in accordance with 21 CFR 1.506e. Specifically, you did not conduct and document or obtain documentation of one or more such supplier verification activity for your foreign supplier before importing the products, right? Now, during the inspection, you stated in an email dated December 8th that we audit each shipment and check items sent by foreign supplier. We also follow the food safety plan to make sure that these items are ready to be consumed by consumers. Items that are on import alert are lab tested to assure the quality. However, you did not provide documentation of verification activities for product name. You responded to our investigator request for verification record by providing documents sent to U.S. Custom at the time of import entry and asserted that testing is done prior to importation and was reported on one of the documents you provided titled Quality Evaluation Laboratory Spices Board Test Report. However, as our investigator explained, this report did not include testing result for the relevant foods, specifically product name, for the whole product name imported from country, which is listed on Import Alert 99-19, detention without physical examination of food products due to presence of salmonella. You provided laboratory report from product with sample result for salmonella. However, this laboratory did not include test result for all hazard associated with the whole product name, and you did not provide documentation of any other verification activities. The above violations are not intended to be all-inclusive list of violation of the FSVP requirements. It is your responsibility to ensure that you are in compliance and the implementing of regulation. This letter notifies you of our concern and provides you with an opportunity to address them. If you do not adequately address this matter, we may take further action. For instance, we may take action under Section 801 of the FTC Act to refuse admission of the food you import for which you appear to be in violation of Section 805. We may place the food from the identified foreign supplier on detention without physical examination, which is DWPE, when you import the product. And you can find the DWPE information relating to FSVP in Import Alert 99-41 and then they actually provided that link. You should respond in writing within 15 working days from your receipt of this letter. Your response should address the specific things you are doing to correct any violation. You should include in your response documentation and information that would assist us in evaluating your correction. Example, documentation of changes you made, such as a copy of your revised FSVP, records to demonstrate implementation of your revised FSVP, and any additional information that you wish to supply relevant to your compliance with the FSVP regulation. So they actually gave them, the answer of how to respond to this letter. So hopefully, this firm, kind of gets that part of it, and I'm sure they do, and in preparing it. So as a PCQI, we need to take a look at that, right, and says, hey, there's, that's what they're looking for. Now, let's continue. If you believe that you are not in violation of the FTC Act, include your reasoning and any supporting information for our consideration. If you cannot complete all correction within 15 days, you should explain the reason for your delay and state when you will correct any remaining violation. So that's a tidbit for us PCQI. So we got 15 days. that we're going to prepare an answer and milestone. Obviously, this has multiple parts. We're going to cover it on the lesson learned on this one towards the end of the video. But the nice thing about this is we're not stuck. So we just have to take care of it, and basically says, okay, we have these 5 to 10 things we need to do. We can do 1, 2, and 7 today, and the rest we can do at this date. So we need to put that on the response letter. Okay. Please send your reply to the FDA, Attention Compliance Officer, at this address or phone number and email address. So, and it's signed by the Program Division Director, for the Northern Border Imports. All right. So PCQI, let's go to the lesson learned. So these are some of the notes I put in while I was reading that this morning. So as a PCQI, what did I get out of this exercise? So one is respond within 15 days to FDA concerning warning letter. That I don't have to fix everything right away. I just got to basically give them a schedule of when things are going to get done, and if I am going to be working with a third-party consultant to help me out, or another PCQI or an FSVP QI at this event of this section. So I just need to list that out and get those submitted. Now, the other lesson learned for me as an FSVP QI/PCQI is review and evaluate all hazard analysis. That's one. They had mentioned that. So now I'm going to take a look at, do I have a 3 parts check off? Now that these have been identified, what do I mean by that? On my hazard analysis, who performed it? Who signed off on it, right? Performed by, who verified it? And then, who reviewed it? So those are the things that if you go back to the video and listen to it, those are the things that they're keywords, verification and reviewing. So those needs to be looked at and documented. So pay attention to that, FSVP QI, PCQI, right? Approve all suppliers, right? So that's another part. So now I got to take a look at my approved supplier program or supplier approval program. Some of us call it that. Are my suppliers approved, not approved, emergency use only, or they are in my do not use category, and if they've been approved and they're coming from a foreign country, I'm putting together my foreign supplier verification program as part now of my approved supplier program. So they're going to be interlinked, interconnected, for that process. And then go through that program. Supplier's market reputation is not enough as a reason not to perform an FSVP. So I put that on there because, I hear that a lot, right? I'm working with this company. They've been around for 100 years, 50 years. They are certified by these big name certification companies. They're in 20 countries, etc., etc. As you can see, FDA kind of like, okay, that's great, but right, that's not enough. Okay, you still need to comply with this. This is regulatory, right? It's not a certification requirement. So it's remember, they regulate and educate, and this is part of the education part of it for us as PCQI is watching in this event an agency, FDA, imposing the regulation standard. So we need to learn through this type of education. All right, next part. Having a foreign supplier registered with FDA is not enough to meet the FSVP requirement. So that's another lesson for me. So if you're looking at your foreign supplier and they've been registered or they registered their facility with FDA, that's basically just letting them know that they're authorizing FDA to basically have access or demands for them to meet the food safety requirements of the United States. So basically allowing FDA to monitor that for that, but that doesn't mean they're doing it, right? So as a supplier or your foreign supplier, that's just one saying, okay, great, you're doing that. That means you're going to commit to the United States requirements. And by the way, here they are. Now, if you're stuck, this is one of the things I get a lot of emails on, and I'm recording those now, so I can help you help our fellow PCQI on the field. When you get all of these things and you get stuck, of putting together maybe your FSVP questionnaire or getting all of those things initiated, reach out to us. If you go to interlinkiq.com, go to the app catalog on the left side. Once you click on it and then go strictly to the right, you're going to see Pro Services. When you click on that, they're listed there. There are guidelines and action items of if we're working with you, what is our responsibility and what is your responsibility. If you're putting these together, these are wonderful action item checklist. You just basically do both. And if you get stuck, let us know. info@consultainc.com or services@interlinkiq.com or consultainc.com. Okay, so I get tongue-tied. We use so many emails to you guys, so just bear with us. We really want to talk to you and assisting you on not having these issues, right? Next part, lesson learned: foreign supplier performance evaluation must be performed and the risk posed by the food they supply to you. So that's another one, right? So they mentioned that within the letter. So how do you do those activities, okay, that you need to perform? And then moving on, document your supplier verification activity. So that's another thing that they mentioned, a couple of times in the warning letter. It's all about documentation. QA, you guys know this, right? If it's not documented, it never happened. Well, guess what? That's what it is. So we got to show proof. For verification activities, records to include all test results on hazard associated with the food. So that's another one. So for me, I'm looking at this as an FSVP QI, this exercise, that my verification activities records to include test results of the hazard. Right? Those were not performed by the lab on the previous comment by the investigator. So, well, let me end it there. PCQI/FSVPQI. Thank you for joining us in our warning letter review on Foreign Supplier Verification Program. Like I said, if you see value on our content and our videos, kindly subscribe so you can get notified on these things as we upload them on a daily basis. And also share it. And if you need to have it be part of your training module or training program, kindly contact us so we can better prepare items for you or videos customized to your intended process. Anyways, PCQI and FSVPQI, till then, have a great day. Bye for now.